Yay!
We're live.
Good job, Tess.
Yay!
Once again, Tess has saved the day because neither one of us know how to work a computer.
Pushing buttons is hard.
Well, welcome everyone to RCX UnPHILtered. Tommy has finally finished watching all of his Titan show and decided to come back and join us this week. So he was, not only did he have to watch that, but then he had to deal with the cancellation of it. So he had lots of emotions.
Like a few hours after I finished the last episode, which isn't the last episode, they were like, "Oh, it's canceled." And I was like, "You better finish the season."
So he's trying to get over his depression now of that. So he's back this week, and then so I'm Philip, by the way.
I'm Tommy.
That one's Tommy, and Tess
Hi.
is over there. I would say our lovely producer, Tess, but evidently that you can't say those things. Yeah, people get upset when you call people lovely.
Oh, I thought you meant producer. Sorry,
No.
I was confused.
No. She's a producer. You just can't call people lovely.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
So I can't call you lovely anymore.
well, that's upsetting.
Yeah. So
It makes me sad.
yeah. So handsome.
I'm putting that bit directly. And I'm putting it in a TikTok.
I feel
You're
pretty.
welcome.
So handsome.
If I ever figure out how to edit these videos. God.
What? Edit?
Not edit, but like take down and cut apart to put on other
Like
things.
splice it.
Splice it.
Mm.
Anyway, so if you have things to ask us or anything like that, I got nothing. Just send them to Tess. Send them on here. Tess will let us know.
Yep.
Also, if you make it through, if you've made it this far and you think you're going to hang around, then please like and subscribe what we're doing. Gently, yes, please. No smashing stuff. It's just everyone stay calm. So, and then if you have other things that you like to see us do other than us just rambling like this, we've been doing some unboxings.
I have been watching him do unboxings. They've been pretty cool.
Yeah. So
that freaking Master Sword is awesome.
it's probably the coolest thing I own now.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's actually really cool. And we'll be doing more stuff of that. We'll be going through collections, throwing up videos all the time. Tess is throwing some stuff out there now. But if there's specific things you like to see, whether it's from us or from the industry or anything, let us know. So, and we'll do what we normally do. We'll make it up.
And if you want, I can set up my phone and do a live feed when I'm filling out paperwork where I'm sitting at my computer. It's fascinating.
That's what Facebook's for.
Yeah, like I was doing FOCs yesterday, and I'm just like line after line after line of things like, do I want to order that? I don't even know.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't even know.
So, anywho, we can start off with books this week because we both actually read almost the same thing.
Yeah, we
Almost.
Dark Web wraps up tomorrow. And
Wait, Dark Web.
Yep, Dark Web. So because I was out dying, I was an issue behind, so I got all of that read this morning.
Now, Marvel had this listed for next week in their initial solicitations.
Oh, it came out early?
Yeah, they had Venom this week and Dark Web next. The finale.
Well, you know what?
Week.
Good job, Marvel. You got one out early.
But once again, they could have put the dates out wrong initially.
I mean, we'll pretend like they were like, you know what? We're ahead for a change. We're gonna give you a treat.
We know that's not true.
So the last couple of parts of this were not as silly, unfortunately.
I don't know. There was some silly stuff in the finale.
There was a few things.
Venom was really setting up.
Yeah, Venom setting up whatever the big Venom centric story arc that's coming, which I had not been reading Venom for a while, so I was wildly confused for a bit, and then it finally context clues put everything together for me.
And also, Miss Marvel has been working with Peter too long.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, Ms. Marvel got a bunch of really good lines.
There's a bunch of really good lines.
Yeah. The Ms. Marvel like little 2-issue thing that they did with her.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she defeated hell with the power of being an annoying teenager. It was really good.
Which is valid,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
It's very valid.
They're like, "Do you ever stop talking?" She's like, "Nope." So yeah.
But we deal with Ben,
Yeah,
deal with Madeline.
where we are at the end of the series, I'm not sure where they're going with Chasm as a character. Hopefully, I mean, we're getting the what is her name?
Hallows Eve.
Hallows Eve. We're getting a Hallows Eve mini, so I assume that's where his story will pick up. But like we were talking about this earlier, like if she goes to like the Halloween store and buys more masks, does she get more powers, or is she just limited to the handful that she's got?
But if she goes to a secondhand Halloween store, man, it's gonna be sad.
Like, is it gonna be like that episode of Buffy? Like, if she dresses up like a cat, she could turn into a cat.
God, that'd be awful. But yes, the answer is yes.
I'm excited to see where this nonsense goes.
It is Hallows Eve is a giant gimmick that actually plays very well as a giant gimmick.
And like, if you haven't read any of the stuff with her, basically Madeline Pryor has given her a superpower of those of you who are as old as us will remember the really cheap Halloween costumes where you got like a little plastic mask with an elastic band and then like a plastic one-piece suit that you put on. And it basically, like, if you were dressed as Chewbacca, you had a hard plastic Chewbacca face and then a thing that said Chewbacca across it, and that was your costume. Well, she has like a Frankenstein mask and a Dracula mask and a werewolf mask, and when she puts them on, she becomes that thing. It's a very silly superpower, but it is. I want them to expand it. I want her to just like put on a hockey mask and become like either Jason or like a hockey player. Like suddenly she's got ice skates.
So instead of a machete, she'll walk around with a hockey stick
Exactly.
that shoots pucks out,
Or she'll turn into Casey Jones
with a baseball bat.
Yeah. Or cricket bat.
All right, next.
All right, so we can do Scarlet Witch because I read that one.
All right, we'll go Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch. Hey,
So
number 2.
So
Hang on, there we go.
not to
I didn't want to cover up Viv. Viv's in here.
Yep, Vision's in here. If you were a fan of that
A Vision?
of
The
that
12
Vision,
issue
that 12-issue Vision, it was Tom King. If you're a fan of that, this is dealing with some of the emotional fallout from that, which they have dealt with some in Champions. And this is, I'm kind of hoping that the Scarlet Witch book, like the first 2 issues are sort of one and done stories. Like there's some plots going on in the background that are going to string along for a bit. Like whatever's going with Darcy, we're still not sure. We get a little tease at the end of the issue. But I like the little one and dones. We don't have enough of that in comics right now, I don't think, which makes it really hard to jump in to a new series. And this is, I think, maybe the most interesting Wanda I've ever read.
Close to it.
Yeah, like when she's in a team book and stuff, she's fine. And then, but like her solo stuff is, I haven't really been interested in for the most part. But this one, like 2 issues in, I'm sold on the whole thing.
And then Marvel's doing these little backup stories. Like this one's got Storm, but it's not just a Storm backup story. It's Storm actually going and talking to Wanda. So the little backup stories have been pretty good.
Yeah, and the backup stories are also one and done. So we're getting, basically you get 2 what feels like full-length stories in a normal size comic.
Yeah. And then he didn't read Moon Knight, but I read Moon Knight this tomorrow too. So this kicks off the next storyline for Moon Knight. So basically, you know, something's always going horribly wrong in Moon Knight. So things hasn't changed. But really what I wanted to bring to attention, also another backup story with Blade. So the backup story in here is just as interesting as the main story because it takes place in 1977 and Mark Spector's predecessor, Moon Knight, runs into Blade. I can't read that.
Phoebe loves your shirt.
Oh man, I wanted to say it.
So y'all have to tell me these things. I can't. So anyway, the So Mark Spector's predecessor of Moon Knight runs into Blade, and then of course they have, a falling out. So that story was pretty good too. But if you want to jump into Moon Knight, we're kicking off our next storyline. 19 kind of wrapped up the last storyline. And so basically the premise right now is someone has hired people to kill Mark Spector's old cabal. And the old, I don't know if you didn't read a whole lot of Moon Knight.
I've never really, like, the Moon Knight Disney Plus series is the most Moon Knight I've ever consumed.
Yeah. So in the old series, Mark had put that, like, his cabal together. He had a board of directors.
Okay.
Basically. And so someone is basically trying to hurt Moon Knight by sending people out and killing his old board of directors.
Seems rude.
Yeah, it happens. So, but the backup story is worth it, actually. So, you read this?
I haven't yet. I was trying, and then my head was hurting, and then I whined about it, and then now here we are.
So, Briar
number 3.
So he probably would have read it.
Yeah.
But I showed up around 5 today, and then when I show up, it all goes downhill. From there,
we can't do anything after that. But yeah, my plan is to read Briar first thing in the morning.
Yeah. So we're just continuing on of Briar Rose's story. She's got a gang. They all hate each other.
Yeah.
But I'll bring it up. I won't talk about it a whole lot, but I will bring it up that this is Cantwell that's writing this. So if you've heard me talk about the last Iron Man series that just ended, that was Cantwell, which the writing on that was phenomenal. The writing on this is phenomenal. And then he did the Vault book, Blue Flame, that ended, which they canceled the trades on Blue Flame, but I think they just resolicited.
Okay.
So we will be getting those in when they come in. But Cantwell has been pretty dead on writing as of late. His Iron Man is the best Iron Man I may have ever read.
We were missing one of the trades. I restocked it this week, so I'm hoping to sit down and read his run of Iron Man this week.
Yeah, if you haven't read the Iron Man, I highly suggest you read Cantwell's Iron Man. And he finished it off with issue 650, which I think we still have some of those.
We do. Like we're missing some issues from the first couple trades, but after that, we should have all the singles.
Right. But he finished it off with 650, and he actually did a very heartfelt, Wise Tony Iron Man story. So, Deneen, what was that? What'd you do?
What did
There's something else. There's something blooping down there. I don't know.
Hello?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it has anything.
I don't think it has anything to do. Are you still watching us?
Yes.
Okay, my laptop just it's having a crisis.
Yeah.
It's a final crisis.
It's a dark crisis.
It's a dark crisis. Yeah, I'm not going to hit any buttons on this thing. So we don't lose any of this stuff.
We got two questions.
Okay.
Where's the Wonder Woman? And 2, where is the Wonder Woman?
She is up front on top of the showcases because she is far too tall and wide. She is glorious. I moved, if you are familiar with where the Thor was on top of the showcases up by the door, I moved Thor so that Wonder Woman could have a more prominent space because it's probably the prettiest statue that we have now. It's also the most expensive statue that we have now.
Come in and see it.
So yeah, there will be. I'm hoping Thursday to upload the unboxing video, or technically it's a put together video.
Yeah.
You can't really. The box is so large on the thing that when I took it apart. But we'll get it up. I'm hoping to get it uploaded on Thursday for the unboxing on here. So, because it is a very large.
Yeah, the box is massive, and she is also quite large.
Yep. So,
yeah, the base. It's like the miles that we have. The base is just as heavy as the statue. They are. I think the miles might actually weigh a little more because the base is more solid, but she is definitely taller.
Yeah. So. But hopefully like I said, hopefully that unboxing video. I had I know this will be hard to believe. I had a video snafu, so the video is split in 2. I've got to put those pieces back together for YouTube. YouTube doesn't like me uploading 2 videos. Well, I mean, they do, but then they'd be separate. And then it would make no sense. but I could do the whole part 1, part 2 thing, and then like no one
Yeah.
would really care at that point. So we'll get that fixed. We'll get that fixed tomorrow, and then get everything uploaded.
I don't know, man. You milked 3 videos out of your Proton pack.
I did. I've only uploaded 2, but I'll have 3. I did milk 3 out of that. Well, to take the thing apart, the first one though was like 20 something minutes.
I know. Trust me, I saw how long it was. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, it was really cool. If you guys haven't seen it, the life size full scale Proton pack is really cool. And then this morning I watched you put batteries in it and then take it apart and put it back together and take it apart and put it back together.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it on the Afterlife sound though. I like that.
I think that looked visually it was cooler and it
Yeah.
also sounded cooler.
Yeah, I agree. I even had to go back, and so after I did it, I'm like, is that what the original sound like? And I went back and I'm like, it was. Like, dang, it's been a while since
Yeah, I haven't. I almost put it on in here today, but Pacific Rim one.
Is it broken?
What?
We have another question saying, have Tess fix the video for you?
I don't know what's broken.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Is something broken?
I turned the public chat back on because it had turned off.
Huh. Are you able to watch us?
I am able to watch it.
Huh. I have no
Live
idea.
chat is on. Participant mode, anyone. Message delay, none. Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Huh. Phoebe said, look,
Oh, we were talking. They're talking about the other video, the video that you have to stick together.
oh,
Have me do it, and I was about
Got
to
it.
suggest that I could just.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
phew.
Yeah, I was wildly.
Look, when
I
you
got
say
scared.
something about video and it's not working, I just assume I messed up something.
Same.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, like, what did I do? I'm so sorry.
Sorry, we're slow.
So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
very
Slash,
yeah.
I'm slow, and
it's-
I forced
uh,
you into it.
So all good. All good.
It's Tessa's fault.
It is my
Yeah.
fault. I take full blame.
Yeah, I like it when somebody's fault. It's not me. This was my fault. I ordered
This,
these.
this is Tommy's fault. His mouth zips up too.
I didn't know that the vote Loki thing was on his tongue. I had no idea.
But these are in store too.
Yeah, it is way cuter than I thought it was.
What if I bought it?
There's two.
I mean,
Even though
there's
I've
a
never
couple.
seen-
There's a couple. He's
Yeah.
adorable though.
He is adorable. It's the
Oh, it's this thing.
Yeah.
I was like, what is rattling? You mean the zipper? So anyway, that's Tommy's new mascot.
Yeah.
Tommy has a mascot now.
Yep, alligator Loki, best Loki.
See, I thought the same thing. I thought they were slippers when I first came in yesterday. I really did. I really thought because you had them
Yeah.
next to each other.
Yeah, I
sitting
can see
over
that,
there,
yeah.
And I walked in and I'm like, why did Tommy buy Loki slippers? I did. I really thought the same thing.
They do look like slippers. That's
I was like,
fair.
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure, why not? It won't be the dumbest things he's bought. We've got garbage pail kids.
Now, to be fair,
I'm just saying.
the other boxes of Garbage Pail Kids I ordered, we sold relatively.
Well, these are
quickly.
reprints, so no one wants
Yeah,
to reprint.
these are like chromium reprints, so they cost like twice as much. And yeah, I think the price point is what.
All right, I have a question.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think is the stupidest thing you ever bought for the store?
Oh my god.
The stupidest thing and the worst thing. Because I know the worst thing. I'm not going to say they're the stupidest thing, but I know the worst thing.
So the stupidest thing, and it wasn't the thing that was stupid, it was the amount. When Modern Masters 2 was released, we had gotten allocated on the first run, and they ended up being really expensive and whatever. And so like Modern Masters 2 was coming out, and they were packs of Magic cards, and the packs retailed for about 10 or 12 bucks. I forget. So the boxes were twice as expensive as a normal box. And I got an email from my rep, and he was like, hey, man, do you guys need any extra? And I was like, yeah, man, if you could just send me double, that'd be great. Thinking there's no way he could send me double. And that was the biggest invoice I've ever seen. That was the dumbest because I should have checked before. I was like, yeah, ship me double.
Okay. Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
I always still go back to those Walking Dead figures, but
Oh my god.
but that's fair.
Well,
Well, all right. So what do you? All right, I want to see if you think what the worst thing, because I know what I think is the worst thing you ever bought, and it was recent too. But I want to know what you think.
The worst thing?
Yeah. You want me to just tell you?
Yeah.
It was all those stupid electronic Pokemon toys.
Oh god.
It was
Yeah.
awful.
I was trying to think of stuff that I ordered that we never sold. And
No,
then
I didn't.
No.
I didn't
Okay.
say it was a bad thing. I
Okay.
said it was the worst thing.
We sold them all. I'll never order them again. They were like, guess that Pokemon, and it would ask questions. And we had 4 or 5 of them, and kids would come in and turn them all on at the same time. And then they would start asking each other questions. And it'd be an infinite loop.
Yes.
Of
So
madness.
each Pokemon toy would ask itself a
Yeah.
question, and then it would
Yeah.
answer and ask itself the question
Yeah.
because it couldn't tell the difference between an electronic voice and a real voice.
Yeah, I agree. That was the worst.
Uh,
The absolute worst.
uh,
Look, sometimes you try stuff and it doesn't work out.
no, I mean, we sold them.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not.
I mean, for our sanity, it didn't.
Yeah,
work
yeah.
out.
No, it did not work out at
Yeah.
all. Yeah, yeah. They offer those again, and I went, no.
Yeah, yeah.
No, not again.
I've seen similar things, and I'm just like, no, not if they come with batteries in them. Absolutely not.
Right there. They were all right there.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Uh,
Thanks for that trouble.
yeah, you're welcome. See, it's not alligator slippers.
So I was experimenting with action figures for a little while. I brought in like some DC Direct stuff and a few other things, and I ordered some Walking Dead action figures. And I
A few cases.
somehow double ordered them. And we sold none of them. I think ever. Yeah, that was. I think the main problem was they were like from the TV show, and it was like the TV version of the Governor, and the TV version of
Everything, yeah.
Andrea, and then 2 random zombies.
Yeah.
And that was the assortment. And then I had.
And we had them for years.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah.
Years.
We took them to shows. We tried selling them for like
I couldn't even give
$2
them away
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't even give
Yeah.
them away.
Yeah.
I think they ended up in the dump.
Possibly. Yeah, that was. So anyway, we probably will never experiment with action figures again unless something drastically changes in that market, because we can't. We just can't.
No, we try. At least with the statues, like they're very, very expensive, but they're very, very pretty. So they liven up the
Yeah,
everything.
I told Jacqueline this morning. I was like, I don't know if we'll ever sell any of these, but we look like a museum now. The store looked great. So
yeah, that Wonder Woman is phenomenal.
Yeah,
This really is. Like, wow. So,
but it made the Captain Marvel statue that's up there, which we thought was a fairly big statue,
yeah,
looks like a tiny thing next to the Wonder Woman.
yeah. May not have should have put Wonder Woman next to her.
Yeah, I think maybe we're gonna move some things around tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah, because once again, Captain Marvel's not a small statue,
Yeah,
but next to Wonder Woman, it is a very teeny tiny statue.
we've got a really cool Huntress statue that's kind of around the corner, so I think I might swap Captain Marvel for that Huntress tomorrow.
Well, you could put Tila in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be careful though, right? Because people come in that door.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about that.
Yeah.
What do you not care? What do you not want to get broken? Anyway.
Well, so far, like people bump into that thing all the time, but it's sturdy enough where it doesn't. Nothing has fallen over in it.
So far.
Yeah.
So far.
Someone commented, they liven up the shop and lighten up Philip's pocketbook.
That they do.
It's true.
That is very true. Yes.
Yeah.
That is.
When I was putting the Wonder Woman in the system today, I was like, she costs how much?
Yeah. That's.
He ordered it, not me.
It seemed like a good idea 2.5
2
years ago.
Yeah.
When I ordered it, it's just all these things are coming in now. Like it's like if you think about it, like, and I mean, a couple of these things are like mine are at home. Like the Proton Pack is mine, it's at home. the He-Man Power Sword's mine, and then this Wonder Woman. But like that's all in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Like all these things are now shipping, and so if y'all have ordered some stuff, I would expect things to start.
Yeah. I've been reading a bunch of industry stuff about that, not just our industry, but like with toys and stuff, that you're seeing a lot of toys being clearanced like way sooner than normal because there's all the stuff that was backlogged all has started shipping at the same time. And like as soon as something comes in, the next thing's right behind it.
So years and years worth of backed up toys
Yeah,
are getting ready to hit the market.
Like, 2.5, 3 years worth of stuff that has had a manufacturing slowdown or shipping slowdown is all showing up at the same time. And I know I've seen some other people who are in like deep into like action figures or Funko Pops or anything like that. And all of a sudden they have these huge invoices of stuff right now where the economy is starting to really wind down, and it's making this industry in particular really slow. So like, thankfully we're not all over the place with this. We have some number of statues and things that are coming. Like we got, I got shipment notifications. We got 4 turtles coming in the next week or two. But they're smaller, little $50 figurines, and they're super cute.
They are adorable.
So like, but I expect that whatever we have outstanding, because I don't think we've ordered anything in a while.
No, I kind of cut it off, but there really hasn't been anything.
Nothing that like jumped out at us. Yeah. And I mean,
like the Wonder Woman that we just got is based on Art Germ.
Yeah.
So it's based on the Art Germ.
It's Art Germ picture based on New 52 Wonder Woman, which whether you liked it or didn't, the design on her for New 52 is fantastic. Yeah. So like her whole costume, all of it, the sword, the lasso, her hair is large. She's got a lot of hair.
Yeah. It is very well done.
It's really pretty. Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about
Sure.
Where is the question? First impressions of the DCU announcement.
Yep.
Is that something you want to discuss?
I am very excited. Philip is less so, but only because he does not consume the DC media the way that I do.
Right.
Like the movies and the shows and stuff. Like I have watched all of Peacemaker 3 times, I think, and he's seen the first episode.
I've seen the first episode. I like Peacemaker.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite thing DC's done, but I've only seen 1 episode.
So I read a lot of commentary from James Gunn and the other guy who's not James Gunn, whose name I can't ever remember.
James Gunn and not James Gunn.
Yeah, it's basically James Gunn and other guy. I can't remember his name.
It sounds like off topic. So, our cat's Todd.
Yeah.
Our neighbor has a cat that looks similar to Todd, but not quite gray, not just as gray.
Yeah.
And so his name is not Todd.
That's fair.
So it's Todd. And then whenever I see him, I'm like, oh, look, it's not Todd.
Understandable.
So I get the James Gunn, not James Gunn. It makes all sense.
So it will come as no surprise to anyone that knows me that the thing I am most excited about is the Booster Gold series, which I have wanted desperately for many years. But like we got that 1 episode of Smallville that had Booster Gold, and he was fine.
Yeah.
So they need to find an unknown actor with like Ryan Reynolds level of chemistry and humor to pull that character off. And I believe if anybody can do it, I think it's James Gunn. Like he has shown me for many years now that he can take the things that I love and put them on screen, and it's perfect. Even if it's not exactly what I thought it was. Like Guardians of the Galaxy is still one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's because I grew up reading the old Guardians of the Galaxy, like that Jim Valentino run from the 80s. And then when they revamped it after Annihilation and all that, and then revamped it again because the movie was so good and those characters were so well defined that they needed to change the comics to fit what they did in the movies. 100% happy with all of that. So I have
our Drax revamp.
Yeah. So I have high expectations for all of this. I was talking with my friend Dave earlier today about all of this, and he asked if I thought James Gunn could pull off the Superman movie because it's hard. Superman's a tough character to get to resonate with most people. Like he's an iconic character and people love him, But to basically bring God to earth and then give him enough humanity so that he really resonates and connects with everybody, that's a tough chore. It's hard to do. And I think we all collectively loved Henry Cavill as Superman, even if maybe the movies that character was in were not the best.
Well,
and I know
and I think that has a lot to do with like, how can you not like Henry Cavill?
Right.
Like as a human being, how can you not like Henry Cavill? And then seeing him in that suit, it was like, okay, him being Superman, that fits.
Yep.
So that's gonna be a
And-
change even for me.
And the Superman and Lois show that's on right now is probably honestly my favorite iteration of Superman put on film. He is perfect. He hits every note correctly.
Yeah.
That version of Lois is my second favorite Lois. The one from Smallville. I always have I loved her. Anyway,
I do like the Superman and Lois.
Yeah,
I like both of them.
And with everything that's been canceled lately, that was one of the shows people were like, are we going to get more? And James Gunn says there's at least 1 or 2 seasons more that they're going to do with that property. One of the things that he said in the video, I watched it earlier today, was that the things that aren't part of this interwoven story are going to be labeled as Elseworlds,
right? Which,
as people who grew up reading Elseworld stuff in the 80s and 90s, that is awesome.
Yeah, you're more apt to get me to watch something with the Elseworld title on it just because it has Elseworld on it.
Yep.
Now there's pieces in this that I'm actually looking forward to. Like they're going to adapt the Tom King Supergirl.
Yeah.
And if you haven't read that story is phenomenal, and that I'm looking forward to. I'm always looking forward to Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Like
this one might be a little spooky though.
I'm fine. You know what? Fine. I even like the horrible ones.
Yeah.
Like those characters I love. And then with the animated stuff, I'm going to like any animated thing.
It's like Creature Commandos is apparently the first project, the animated Creature Commando series. And I looked at and I assume it's new art. I didn't recognize it, but we had Frankenstein, who I loved the New 52 Frankenstein. I thought it was
I'm assuming that's where they're going.
And
that's the only thing that makes sense.
The only thing in there that was a little confusing to me was that Weasel from the Suicide Squad was in there. But I'm like, you know what? Fine. I assume that Sean Gunn will come in and make the squeaky noises for Weasel the way he did in the movie. I don't know.
But I'm looking forward to like anything DC's ever done animated. Like I've loved like all their animated stuff. So I expect Creature Commandos to be phenomenal. So I am really looking forward to those 3 things. I'm intrigued by Brave and the Bold.
Yes.
I'm intrigued on the way that how they're going to bring in Batman and Damian with the Brave and the Bold setup, which honestly, I like that idea. Like I like the thought process of using the Brave and the Bold as that piece.
So what somebody, I don't remember if it was Dave or Derek earlier, they were like, it's interesting that we needed a young Superman, but we're going to have an already established Batman who has a son that's Robin. And like, are we going to take the lore where like there's already been a bunch of Robins before Damian? Because I hope so.
Yeah.
So like doing that, like why we have old Batman but young Superman? And I love the idea of like the Darwin Cook book, DC New Frontier. Superman shows up and Batman is constantly like, all right, this alien who has superpowers is here. I need to figure out what his deal is, and I need to protect humanity from him. And I think if we've got an established Batman and a brand new Superman, I think that makes it so that Batman gets to be in that mentor role for Superman and until they become friends. And I think that's a cool dynamic for them, because you've got a guy with no superpowers teaching God how to behave. I think that's a better story.
Until they decide, yeah, just kidding, Elseworld. But see, I'm okay with that, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be Marvel though. Like Marvel has done the universe thing. Like, I'm okay with not everything being a part of
and I think
all that. Like it's fine. It doesn't
like these 10 projects that they announced are going to take place between 2025 and 2027.
Right.
and it's the first phase is called Gods and Monsters. And James Gunn has said that these are not all of the projects for this first phase. He mentioned many times that video games will also be incorporated in this. So he's telling a big narrative over the course of movies, shows, animated series, and video games, which is ambitious.
Very, very much so.
So we were talking earlier, I like the idea that Amanda Waller is basically the Nick Fury of the DCU. She seems to have her fingers in every pie. She's the one putting the Creature Commandos together. She's got her spinoff that'll have a bunch of the members of Team Peacemaker in it. Like, every bit of it is her manipulating people, which means that eventually, I don't know what phase, but eventually we will get a live action Batman Beyond. That is what my hope is, that Amanda Waller will steal some DNA from Bruce.
Well, if that ever happens, I'm going to already tell you what my favorite DC movie is. I love Batman Beyond.
Yeah, we're big fans.
I'm a huge fan. Huge fan of Batman Beyond. So
I'm hoping the Swamp Thing sets up like Justice League Dark and all of that. I like that James Gunn has all the people that were attached to all these different projects that got scrapped, that he is incorporating into his vision. He's bringing those people in as either writers or consultants or whatever. He's listening to all of these people I think he's gonna put together probably the best DC stuff that's been put on film. I have high expectations for him, and I might have too high expectations based on Guardians and Peacemaker. Like he took some of my favorite comics and translated it onto film in a way that made me as a fan delightfully happy.
You just said Peacemaker is one of your favorite comics.
No, I'm talking about Guardians right now. I'll get to Peacemaker in a second.
I know, but the way you said it,
no.
And
Peacemaker.
I was getting ready to quiz you on Peacemaker comic.
Peacemaker is a character that I know nothing about. I don't care about. He is a character that when they announced him for the Suicide Squad, I was like, I like John Cena. Do not care about Peacemaker. And when the show came out, I was on the fence about whether I was even going to watch it until a few of my friends were like, oh, dude, you need to watch it. It's pretty good. And so when I finally did, I was like, holy crap. James Gunn made me care about a character that and Vigilante. He made me care about Vigilante. I don't understand.
So so I've only watched the first episode of Peacemaker. Mm-hmm. I loved it, but I fell for the trap, because everyone goes, well, you got to watch the opening.
Yeah.
And so I should have done the smart thing, because everything else I watch is on YouTube. Mm-hmm. But instead, I'm like, hey, I have HBO Max. I'll just go watch the real opening. Well, no one told me that there was like 3 minutes of the show before the opening. Well, Jacqueline and I was sitting there. We watched the first 3 minutes of the show. We both quit everything that we were doing and sat down for the next hour and thought it was some of the best stuff I've ever watched on TV.
And it just got better. Like every episode was better than the one before it. It was absolutely insane how good that show was. And the writing has a lot to do with how good these projects are. And since James Gunn he's already written Creature Commandos. That's right. The writing script's done. He's writing the Superman movie. He said he's halfway through that. And he's specifically said how much fun he was having writing the script.
Right.
And I think that if we don't get a huge dose of joy and fun and hope out of Superman, there's literally no reason to make the movie.
No. Right. I agree. I think because Gregory and I were talking about stuff yesterday, and we were just talking about movies, and you and I have had this conversation 100 times. Like with the DC stuff already come before, mm-hmm. Everything is just always so dark.
Yeah.
And I mean visually. Like I don't care how dark you make something as far as the content or whatever, but they're visually everything is so dark.
Yeah.
Like always. Like it's always dreary. It's always this, which just puts that extra air on, and it's like, well, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't. Like Endgame showed you that, hey, it could be sunny outside and we're all going to die. It's fine. It's fine.
Like I like Man of Steel as a film. I think beginning to end, it's a decent movie.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
I
I
agree.
love Henry Cavill as Superman. I thought he brought everything to the role that you could bring, but I feel like the movie was so dark.
Yeah,
Like
it was
all the colors were muted,
right.
and then like
His
Adam,
costume is not like it.
like
is just,
somebody took a short clip of like him in the movie, and they changed the color palette and they brightened it. And man, it would have been.
It's a different
perfect.
movie.
Yeah,
it's a different movie. Right.
Superman exudes hope.
Right.
He and Wonder Woman are kind of similar in that
Yes.
vein, which is why I loved Wonder Woman 84 and other people did not. I get it, but I really enjoyed it. It hits the right notes, and I think that
Well, it's the 80s.
exactly
It's
it was an
80s.
80s movie. Anyway,
It was an 80s
anyway,
movie.
I digress.
You guys got about 5 minutes left.
What?
All right, thank
I
you.
know.
Uh,
Well, then you have anything else for us?
We can do it next time. You guys continue doing.
No, I
it.
mean, was there any other questions on
There
this?
were no other
Okay.
questions,
All right.
no.
okay,
We'll,
all right, cool.
We'll just finish wrapping up with all this.
Yeah. Man, I've forgotten what the other projects were.
I mean, there's a lot, but
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
that's
a lot.
That's
lot.
you know the bunch of this. Well, I guess the I'm curious on how he's going to pull off a Green Lantern TV show.
Oh, Space Cops.
Like,
he
but I'm
specifically
curious
said
that-
it's going to be terrestrial. It's going to be set on Earth.
Right.
Hal and John are basically. It's going to be a cop drama with people that happen to have superpowers.
Yeah.
Like
I'm just like how they do that together. I'm very interested on that. Not that it's Green Lantern.
yeah,
So
yeah.
But-
That's another one that like could be visually really cool if they want to do the whole Green Lantern Corps thing, but I don't know that it's necessary.
and hopefully not. Hopefully they'll not.
Yeah, I want this to lead into like a series of Green Lantern films, where like big space epic stuff with the whole Green Lantern Corps. But like, leave the series at home. Like, give me NYPD Blue with power rings. Maybe not with so much Sipwit's butt, but
Oh, the Authority.
Oh, right. Oh, well, I mean, that's just fantastic.
Like, I will tell you, on this list, if anything can get me to a day one movie, it's going to be the Authority. Like, I'm not even sure what he's going to try to do or try to pull off there, but I will tell you,
Well,
I will go see an Authority.
he mentioned that the Authority is one of his favorite comics of all time.
Yeah.
I imagine that we're gonna see how Superman and Batman react to the world, and then the Authority will probably take it to a different level.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's my guess. We're gonna get like the foundation of Superman and Batman, and then like the Authority is gonna be like, neither one of you are doing a good enough job. We will show you how to do it.
Yeah. There's so much to unpack with an Authority movie.
Yeah. And then the Amazon show,
Paradise Lost.
Paradise Lost.
Yep.
He mentioned Game of Thrones, but I think what he meant was like the political intrigue of running a nation, kind of a thing. I can't imagine it's going to be Game of Thrones.
We had to talk through this because I've never watched Game of Thrones, and I'm like,
Yeah,
And so we were talking through this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And we were talking. We don't need Diana in the show.
Mm-mm.
It can be set like long before she was born. It can be set like right now while she's out in man's world. Or
Because the
whatever.
thing is, you have to remember, like, Diana's new, right?
Mhm.
Like, let's
Yeah.
be fair, Diana's new, so you don't lose any characters. You don't lose Artemis. You don't
Right.
lose Hippolyta. You don't like. There's none of those main characters are you going to lose, and it could be like it could be how the whole. Because you got the men, right? You
Right.
got the men in that lore that comes to the island and how all that plays out.
And-
so
My guess is that he's going to pull from different eras of Wonder Woman, but the Wonder Woman Historia miniseries, which is basically a history of Themyscira and the Amazons. I like that. Seems like the perfect foundation for a show like
yeah,
this.
and honestly, they could take that series and just adapt
It's
that.
beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yeah, it's the a whole like the visuals in that book. It's the Black Label Big Book is pretty phenomenal. So actually, that's
That's
Pretty much,
pretty much
that
it.
is everything that they
Okay.
talked about. I mean, you mentioned the Elseworld stuff because they talked
Mhm.
about the Matt Reeves Batman and the Joker stuff would be
Yeah, that they're going to be labeled as
going to be
Elseworlds.
labeled as Elseworlds.
Now we do have 4 movies coming. I know we're about at the end of the
No,
time.
it's okay. We had one more question.
Oh, okay.
But you
Uh-oh.
guys can continue talking.
All right, we've got 4 movies coming out before. So we've got Shazam, which is just tangentially tied to the DC Universe property. So it could be part of it, it could not, it doesn't matter. We've got Blue Beetle,
Beetle.
which Gunn said is going to be part of
Right.
their bigger narrative.
Which makes sense because it's going to be, I think it's going to be a standalone kind of
Yeah,
anyway.
it is.
And you can tweak whatever.
We've got the Aquaman movie coming out at Christmas, which I don't know if that Aquaman's gonna be in this or if Jason Momoa is gonna go be Lobo.
Right.
I don't think he cares as long as he gets to be part of it. And I have once again forgotten the 4th movie, but
Yeah, I don't remember.
I can't remember. But anyway, we've got those coming, and then like the second Joker movie, the Batman has a sequel coming up, but none of that necessarily is going to be in.
But I guess the cool thing is Waller and Batman is really going to be the glue in this whole thing, because even though they talked about Brave and the Bold would be Batman and Damian, that Batman is going to be in other films and other shows.
Right. Yeah,
It's not.
This is the setup of.
Yeah.
This is the Batman of this universe.
Yeah. So it's basically Waller and Batman will be crossing over. The way he made it sound.
Yeah.
Is, well, we know Waller is, but also the way he made it sound was that Batman will be through everything. His movie will just be Brave and the Bold, which is the Morrison run.
Yeah, it's talking about the Grant Morrison run.
Morrison run
Yep.
on that. So
What was the question?
When are we going to interview Gregory and Philip's favorite part of Gregory, his other half?
We close at 7, and somehow Gregory turns off the open sign, and he's out the back door before the light goes off. So I haven't figured out how he does that yet. So unless he hangs around, that's on him.
We'll schedule it. We'll make sure it's very obvious.
Yeah, unless he hangs around. But yeah, we're all open to interview whoever or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we'll interview this Mountain Dew bottle that Tommy's got over here if we have to.
I'm going to interview it right now.
So how does it feel knowing that Sierra Mist is no longer there and they introduced Starry? It sucks. See?
On that note.
That's all right. Whoa, calm down there, Mountain Dew. Let's not. All right, everybody. Tess is kicking us out now. So once again, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Like I said, subscribe to our channel. We'll keep doing this. We want to keep doing it. We'll keep doing other things. Let us know. Let us know what you like to see, what you want to talk to us about. If you know people that want to be interviewed or talk to us, let us know. We'll drag them in here, or we'll go on a road trip within, the 1/2-mile radius. No. But anyway, subscribe,
Don't forget
follow.
to lightly tap the like.
Very
and then
gently.
Gently caress.
And there's a bell button too. You're supposed to do
gently
something
caress
with the
the
bell.
Yeah.
Supposed to do something with the bell thing. So. All right, Tess, come on the camera. Say goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.